They had a bad half, so you can't really look at them and say we need to make a change. I wouldn't be surprised in maybe 10-15 minutes if things don't change a little bit, but for now, I think both managers would have been not overly happy, but not too displeased.
Well, still lots of football to be played as the second half gets underway. Atletico Ottawa attacking from left to right on your screen in this second half. They wear the red and white top with the blue shorts. Cavalry and their all-black chain strip. They attack from right to left. The Cavs entering the match in third position, though they do have a game in hand on Pacific. Win would get them back level on 10 points with PFC in second spot. Valor with their win today back atop in 12th, and Atletico Ottawa right now the 8th place team on just one win and no other points from there. Everyone else who is on the one win has a couple of draws to boast that score, so it is 8th for now for Atletico Ottawa. They're in possession in Cavalry territory. Just less than a minute in, Manella, a little layoff pass. Played in by Acosta. Headed away by Klopp. Back towards Becky, who's there. Back on the ball after Shaw's shot was deflected. David Norman Jr. trying to start it back up, but Fede Martinez gets in the way. Carducci pressured by Shaw, relieves the pressure with a feed out for Dan Klopp. And Ian, you and I were having this conversation just before we came back there for this second half about Chris Manella and how different this Ottawa team looks when he's active, when he's involved, and when he's feeling and playing dangerous.
Yeah, he's a confidence player, so you need to continually feed him the ball. And obviously met him years ago with the national team, and obviously went and played in Ottawa, and he's a technically very, very good player, but he can go missing if you don't keep him involved. And I think that's especially the first half. Towards the end, he got involved a little bit more.
Into the second half.
Better possession from Ottawa there, and trying to get in behind the fullbacks. And when you've got Luca working that far back there, that's a great sign for them, because he's obviously not doing it the other end.
Well, it will be once again Ben McKendry to take. Can he pick out Drew Becky once more? Jody Cara is going to do his best to make sure he doesn't have a clean run out on the ball. And in the end, it is Becky who was called for the foul on Dichiara, and he is understandably not thrilled with that decision.
That's disappointing. It's soft. Come on, referee. He's actually hook, line, and sinkered the ref there. It's disappointing for Ottawa. They finally get a set piece. They start out the half well. They want to have a good challenge, but Dichiara, I think that's extremely soft from him going down there. Becky's just giving him a little bit of a nudge, and 6'4" hit the floor like a 5'2".
Well, and that's the situation where if Uzi Rudolph looks at that and goes, no chance, Becky's all alone, walks in, gets ahead, and that's why they score. It's a very different conversation that we'd be having. Yeah,
unfortunately, the game has changed quite a lot over the years, and players do con the referee a lot more than they used to.
Well, Cavalry back on the other side of the pitch. It's Luca. Fakes across, couple more touches, working on his left foot, and he is tackled with the shoulder. Now, to me, that's more of a foul than what Drew Becky just did, but Ian, you and I don't have the whistles.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see a replay of it. I think he's kind of hoped that somebody was going to go into the tackle, and his momentum took him down, and obviously looks a painful one for Nunez.
Oh yeah, Raf's still holding that left ankle, so we'll get our look here.
Yeah, there was nothing in that. He's actually thrown himself down. Like, if you look, there's no connection with the feet. He's kind of lost his balance, and I think he was hoping Nunez was going to slide in, but you'll find a lot of players aren't doing that on turf, especially this turf. But it looked a bit of a painful one for Nunez there as Luca's body weights come into him.
Well, and I'm happy to stand corrected, and the issue here and what compounds the fact that Luca's already sliding, so he gets tangled up with Nunez falls, but it's when he's coming down, Ian, the body weight almost goes like completely vertical down on that outstretched foot, and that's obviously where the concern and where the pain is coming from right now with Nunez.
Yeah, in a bit of pain right now, but it doesn't look too bad. His facial expressions aren't too bad there, so he'll hopefully be all right. A bit of magic spray and a bit of water, and he'll be all right.
Did you ever figure out what the magic spray was?
I thought it was unicorn dust or something like that. Seriously, it didn't matter what it was. Growing up in the youth, it always used to be in one bottle of water, and they'd come on and spray it all, and you didn't know what. But then you got older, and like playing in Spain, they have the freezing spray.
Yep.
So it's like, it differs depending on what region of the world.
The magic spray varies. If you can take nothing else out of this match, ladies and gentlemen, there is unicorn dust as the secret ingredient for magic spray. This is why Ian Hume provides the best commentary in the booth. Well, here's Karifa Yao. Finds Mo Farsi, who we talked about was quiet because the action was on the other side of the pitch in the first half for Cavalry, trying to connect with Ali Moussi on the run. Leaps away to try and free up some space for himself, but in doing that, he gives up the territory on the pitch. It's goal kick coming now.
Yeah, great cover there from Brandon John. I think he read the situation. Moussi.
Well, Moussi does the full splits to turn this ball over. Laturi's there. Becky gets ahead. John's still on it, but Ottawa unable to settle it down. Farsi watches it drop, now out for Karifa Yao.
Going to cause their own problems there, Ottawa, again. We've seen it far too many times through the season already, where overplaying from the back when you don't need to, and getting caught in the ball, and obviously goals coming from it. Thankfully, it didn't there.
Karifa Yao, long pass in behind. Off to the shoulder of Becky, who recovers in time to head it away. Farsi once again to take this throw, and once again he goes back. Norman Jr. through ball. Di Chiara was on the end of it, but knocked him over. Manella, diagonal for Hoven. It's going to sit down nicely for him. Perhaps takes a bit too much time to get on the end of it, and that allowed Yao to recover. And Moussi, that's another easy one. This one against Becky, and the yellow card comes out. Doesn't even need to look back. He knew.
Yeah, Verhoeven's got to take that. After the first bounce, he's got to take that and continue going forward. As soon as he takes the second bounce and moves away from goal, he gives the defender far too much time, and rightfully gets caught in possession, and they lose the opportunity. But it's a great ball. Great decision from Manella when he opens up, finding that diag over into the corner. It's not long ball football. It's precise passing, which is underappreciated and kind of disrespected in the modern game too much. People look at it as a long ball, but it's not if you're passing it. And I think it's a great ball from Chris Manella. And you've seen the gap open up there. I think it could be something they can exploit if they continue to move the ball like they were.
Well, we're nearly 10 minutes into the second half. On a whole, Ian, it seems like Ottawa's getting more players on the pitch involved here in the first 10 minutes or so. Different names getting touches, spreading it out a bit more.
Yeah, and I think they're playing together. I think that's the difference, is they're not playing in units, they're playing more as a team. And I think the worrying thing is the quietest name, the one that we haven't mentioned once this half, is Martinez. And he's the most influential. So I think if they can get him into the game along with McKendry and Manella, and they can continue working as a group rather than the units, I think that the half is only going to get better and better. And there again, Brandon John, that is great cover and great reading of the play. And let's just hope they don't try and play it out from the back here and he almost gets himself in trouble again.
Using his body very well to shield Salamani away from it. Finally, possession ends up back with Cavalry. Working their way back down towards Dylan Powley. It's Ali Moussi. Nearly at full sprint. Gets his throw. They take it quickly. Laturi leaves it back for him.
It's the first time we'd seen Musi really open up his legs. And I think that's what we were talking about at halftime, was out of the front line, he's by far been the quietest. And I think he needs to be put into the game a little bit more, because his pace and obviously his directness of his play, I think, can be a real problem.
Yao goes back for Carducci. Well, Marco Carducci, a perennial name you got to keep in mind when you start talking about the elite of the elite goalkeepers in this league. Right now, no one's been better than Jonathan Sirois. Another clean sheet today. He has looked unbelievable to start his loan spell from CF Montreal. Richard Luca. DKR closest to.
Disappointment there from DKR, but he's got to also understand the way of the turf. The ball wasn't going to die for Luca there. If it dies in the grass, he gets an opportunity to hit that first time. With it bouncing, DKR's run isn't really appreciated with the cross.
Well, it was taken short for Musi. That was spotted right away by Verhoeven, who comes over, disrupts that. Outside for Farsi. Becky does well. It's not going to be a dual one officially, but he didn't concede his territory, and he makes sure that nothing opened up around him. Farsi, a tough player to keep at bay.
Yeah, he was kind of fortunate there, Becky, because Farsi got possession out wide and he's getting at him, but obviously his back four shifted across, but Farsi was on his own, because Musi and Luca are both over on the right wing from the previous corner, and Musi took a little bit longer. I think he's struggling with a bit of cramp there, so, or a knock, I don't know what it is. He's holding onto his leg. At looks of it, somebody's ready to come on.
Well, we saw right away a collision with him literally a minute into the game. He was favoring his ankle. You have to wonder if that's starting to flare back up on him. But Ian, we were saying that around this time, if things weren't really opening up, that Tommy Wheeldon Jr. or Mista might look to their bench, and it seems like we're getting some players up and moving about, but I'll ask you to put your manager cap on for a second, and what names jump out to you from the team sheet?
For me, if I'm going like for like, it depends on what Tommy Wheeldon wants to do with his team. I think they've just called somebody in. Like for like, I'd either, if he wants to play Salamani out wide and bring on Novak, or Escalante direct swap for Musi, and then maybe swap him with Luca. Well, there you go. Escalante ready to come on.
Simmons as well.
Yeah, there you go. So, yeah, I think it's the right time. I'm guessing it'll be Musi. Who the second one is, I don't know.
Well, Vidi Martinez has had to work hard for this one, getting by Jody Chiara. Kaiser and DKR both get there. Ottawa has to work it around. McKendry. Becky with the space to play. McKendry dispossessed. McKendry has to be careful not to give away an easy one there. He doesn't.
Laturi again causing problems, not allowing people to beat him one-on-one. But going back 15 seconds, I'd like to see Nunez be a little bit more assertive with how he plays. He's got the man one-on-one, and he tries a little bit of trickery and then turns around and passes backwards. Take a risk. Luca's doing it on the other side of the field. I'd love to see him do that, because he's got the natural ability with the ball. We can see that. He's brought in for a reason. You're playing out there with ability. Be confident enough to get at the fullback and try and exploit him for his weaknesses. And I think that's been the difference, is your wingers with Calvary have been doing that. And here we go, Novak coming on now with Escalante, and you got Ferdinand for John, which is a strange one for me.
You almost wonder if that's one of those prescribed ones where you knew he was on a minute cap, because you're right, he didn't look to be out of position or making any mistakes. Get the fresh legs out there. Lucy down again, just to note, Ian, and then I think that might spell the end of his night if we had any doubts remaining.
Yeah, with that Ferdinand change for John, I would have said probably the only partnership on the field for Ottawa that's a standout was John and Kapoor. I thought the two centre backs looked very comfortable. It's not going to be very comfortable now with Novak coming on in Escalante, but obviously making that change, Ferdinand comes in for him, but Escalante's on. We know the problems he can cause, and there you go, the two that we spoke about before, Silimani and Muse off for Novak and Escalante, and I think it's a different type of attacking options now, because we know Escalante's quality on the ball. We know we like getting the ball in the box, so Novak's going to make sure he's within the frame of the goal. Luke on the other side, hopefully he's going to start delivering the ball, and I think this is a very positive and strong change for Tommy Wheeldon Jr. and Cavalry.
Well, the first changes of the match, 3 of them, as we confirm Musi out, Escalante in, Silimani out, Novak in. Those are the 2 for Cavalry. Brandon John out, Keyshawn Ferdinand in for Atletico Ottawa. We are through the first hour, nearly into the 64th minute. We are still scoreless. It was a fast start to the second half, and it's been a bit of each side settling in for the past 10 or 15 minutes. Jose Escalante immediately going to try and get involved. Got Farsi and Escalante to team up on the left. And we know the damage and the havoc that Richard Luca has been causing and nearly causing down that right side as well. Plays it in. Novak not going to get there in time. It was falling towards Escalante. Ferdinand gets ahead. Verhoeven saves and sends it further away.
Yeah, it's been a lot quieter second half for Luca. I think with Muse coming into the game and growing into the game a bit more and getting on the ball more, they kind of isolated this left wing a bit, and Luca obviously misses out on the ball quite a bit with that, but here you go now, get him on the ball.
Well, he's got 2 targets, and 2 targets that I think anyone who likes to distribute would love to have with Escalante and Novak. And it's one you're definitely going to want to watch between Escalante and Keyshawn Ferdinand. Keyshawn's still just 17 years old, and he's got a handful to deal with in the Honduran directly beside him.
Yeah, it's a tough one for him. We know when Escalante's full of confidence, he's a tough customer. And Ferdinand, he'll be in there for a reason. He's got a lot of athleticism. He's still got to grow. Still got to learn the game a bit more, but to be in and around the team at 17 years old and being on the field, I think it's a great learning curve, and especially up against Escalante, it's going to be a tough challenge, but one I'm sure he'll be up for.
Well, and there's no doubt that Ferdinand has the capacity in him to really turn into something special. Homegrown player with CF Montreal, was loaned out to Atletico.
This is one of the great things about the CPL, is able to get young players from MLS academies and our own MLS academies, and them not playing youth team football and youth team soccer and reserve team soccer. They're now in a men's environment in a professional league where they're getting vital minutes under their belts at 17 years old, which is incredible. And I think that's one of the benefits of us having the league here and having obviously the teams in the MLS, where we can work off their systems.
Well, we're seeing Lowell Wright for York United having his moment, also 17 years of age. We've seen some very bright young Canadian players really erupting through the first couple seasons. Your Borgeses, your Bustos, your Farsi, Abzi, like the list goes on and on and on. And
Nick Ledgerwood.
I don't know about young man there, Jimmy. How much did he pay you to say that?
Not a bit, but he still acts like he's 17.
that I'll
the way he plays, which is incredible.
Well, we're 21 minutes down. In this second half. again, Miguel Acosta. For the captain, Kapoor, and over for Becky.
Yeah, we can see the game getting a bit more spread. See the gaps in the midfield are a lot bigger. The fullbacks and the wingers on opposite sides are...
It's a flick from McKendry. Verhoeven was deemed to be offside.
Yeah,
Gabriel Lemieux, the near side official. She was right in front of it. Ottawa obviously didn't like the decision. We'll see if we can get a look at it here, but Verhoeven was off to the races.
Yeah, I think he expected it. He was about, a foot and a half from the other angle where the original angle was. I think he sort of jumped the gun a little bit too quick. It's a good call from the linesman there, but it's positive from Ottawa.
Well, Dikiar and Farsi connecting down this left side. Laturi once again getting trusted with some serious minutes here for the Cavs. In the top half of the team in minutes played this tournament. 252 entering the day. You don't want to be too critical of an opportunity that hasn't come for a while, Ian, but again, I just think you want a little bit more out of Nunez there.
Yeah, he's got the opportunity one-on-one. And finally, Martinez gets in the game, a little bit of interplay in the midfield. Nunez gets found one-on-one out on the line. Opportunity to continue. He's edge of the box where the defender can't dangle a foot. And he shoots at the first opportunity. And listen, if it goes in the top corner, I can't argue and nobody will say a word, but I'd like to see him have a little bit more trust in himself and just believe in his ability that he can beat somebody one-on-one.
Well, Laturi's day ends after 68 minutes. It's a good shift. Elliot Simmons does come in. We talk about partnerships, that when John comes off the field, he had a great one going with Kapoor, but that allows Drew Becky to slide back into a center-back position, in which I think favors him based on what we've seen.
Yeah, he didn't have a bad performance by no means at all, but he looked a little bit uncomfortable. He's probably played there plenty of times in his career, but he looks more sure of himself when he's in the middle and he's within the frame of the goal and he can see the whole play. And it's a good move for them, and it obviously gives young Ferdinand an opportunity out wide. So I think it's a double bonus having an experienced player like Becky back in his favourite position and also bringing on a young lad for more experience. And it'll help him no end playing alongside Becky, because we know how loud he can be and how he's a leader on the field. So it'll be a good swap, and Becky will help him grow as well.
Well, Tevin Shaw is in for Chris Manella here in the 69th minute. I think, again, situation, Ian, where we saw better spells from Manella, especially in the second half, but when he's not going, it just seems like the offense, if it's not even that there's no chances, it just doesn't seem as natural or easy or fluid.
Yeah, obviously speaking about him start of the second half and the benefit of the squad when he's on it, and I think he did for the first say 15 minutes he was involved in the game, but the last 10 minutes or so it's just bypassed them, and they've not been in possession a lot, and when they have, they've gone long. And I think it's the right move. Unfortunately, Chris, he'd gone quiet in the game, and there's no hit on him. Just the way the team was playing, it just didn't suit him at the time. And a bit of fresh legs on, and game again in a couple of days, and I'm sure Manella will be back in and raring to go.
Tevin Shaw is making an immediate impact. It's a great individual play. Pass could have been into a different spot, into some more space there, but comes off the bench and he gets himself involved right away. That's Dikiara trying to draw a foul. He collides with Becky. And we've seen these two once or twice before. Perhaps Becky just getting that left forearm out and getting a piece of Jody Carroll. Have a look at it here.
He, outside of his pinky finger, I think, hit him on the face. I think, again, over-embellished. I know DKR was looking for it. I thought he could have gone through it and won the ball, or give a 50-50. It is what it is. Reverting back to that chance there, Tevin Shaw gets down the wing, and Verhoeven comes in the box. and he's got 2 defenders right in front of him, and he's made the run to the 6-yard box. If he one movement to go back post, it's a ball across the face of goal, tap in, and I think that's where you're hoping Verhoeven's gained some experience over the last couple of seasons. He obviously broke through a couple of seasons ago.
Well, he comes over from Pacific, he's still getting used to a new team, but I think one of the reasons he was excited for this move is quite frankly, and we've seen what Pacific have done this season with the front four that they've brought in, just seems like there's more room for him to expand and show what he's got here. But I'm with you on that assessment for sure.
Yeah, and it's just a little bit of awareness of, he's had the experience. I know he's still really young, I know that, but he's had the experience. He needs to understand situations in the box and play percentages rather than what's easier for you. You know what I mean? So I hope he'll look back at videos of this and understand what he could have done better. But again, Devon Shaw down the line, and there we go.
Well, back the other way. It's pressure from Novak, just trying to draw Becky in. Richard Luca comes in, gets the ball back, and now it's a layoff pass for Kaiser. 73rd minute, Cavalry on the attacking end of the pitch and trying to find their way past Dylan Powley. It's headed in, it's loose in the box. No black shirts able to collect. Farsi comes in at the last minute. Verhoeven, though, able to clear.
Great hand on the ball from Dylan Powley there. I think it's coming past. I don't know if it's the defender or Novak who's got a little nick on it, but Powley's got a good hand on it and pulled it away from the back post, and vital touch by him.
And Dylan Powley has looked right at home since joining from FC Edmonton. In 7 Canadian Premier League appearances and 2 Canadian championships with them. Previous stops in Sweden as well, and played his college ball with the McEwen Griffins, and is now calling our nation's capital home. Started every game as well in this bubble tournament. We've seen some coaches, Fowler's rotated a bit, Cavalry's rotated as well. But Mista's given him the ball, or given him the gloves, and said, go do your thing, and so far he's had a pretty good showing.
Yeah, I think myself as a player, the less my back four and my goalkeeper are rotated, the more assured of my defense I feel. So it works for some, and I'm not taking that away. Hold on.
Oh, check this out, Hume. Ottawa once again knocking at the door. It's played through. McKendry's on the end of it. Farsi tries to get a foot, can't. Yao gets ahead, and now chested down. Novak and Kapoor, and Kapoor had to be sure.
Unlucky from Novak there. He read the play, read that Kapoor was going to let it bounce. He's just a foot away from getting an interception there.
It's going to fall for Verhoeven. He's all alone. Great layoff pass. Shaw! Against the run of play, Atletico Ottawa have their goal. Malcolm Shaw from Zach Verhoeven.
Great decision there from Verhoeven. Very fortuitous. The defender losing his feet. I don't know if there was a click of the heels or they've just run across each other. I don't know what happened there. But a great decision. And a tidy finish from Shaw there. Good thing he didn't take a touch. I'm happy he decided to take it because it's rolling into him. He can't take a bad touch. It's a very fortuitous, but you take what's given to you, and I think that's a great counter-attack goal from them, and well played, and they're going to have to hold on now. 15 tough minutes ahead of them.
8 goals last year, his first goal of the season. It's a big one, just a quarter of an hour still to be played. They've held in there. They haven't conceded. Powley's made the stops when he needed to. They were waiting for that opportunity. It comes on a slip, on a little bit of a mistake. Verhoeven, it's a good pass. Shaw doesn't overthink it. Tidy finish, as you say, Inhuman. It is Ottawa in the lead. They lead Cavalry by 1-0. Looking for a quick response, though. Powley comes out, gets some gloves on it. Luca. Dichiara found him. And the Brazilian gets into the legs of Nunez.
Good work back from Nunez there. Nice to see him. I know drink break coming up, but nice to see Nunez doing the work. He knows they've got something to hold on to now. 0-0, he might not come back. Now it's 1-0. they've got something to grip onto, and it's great to see their winger coming back so far and helping out the team.
Well, it is still Cavalry with a 60-40 possession advantage as we've reached the final water break. 15 minutes as the coaches draw up their plans for the final quarter of an hour. Well, Ian, all of a sudden, Cavalry, they weren't dominating this game, but they certainly seem to be getting more of the opportunities, getting closer to goal, but now all of a sudden they need their goal if they want to escape this match with a point.
Yeah, they just have to have a bit more urgency. Like, just trying to... They're keeping possession very, very well. They're dominating the game in possession without creating anything. We've not seen a lot of Luca this half. We've not seen much of Escalante since he's come on.
Farsi's been somewhat quiet.
Very quiet. I'd love to see him push forward a bit more.
It's just perfectly weighted from Kapoor.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened with Yao there. I'm not sure if he inadvertently clipped Yao's heels when he's cut across him, but Yao's dropped like a sack of potatoes there. I don't know what happened, but hey, you take what's given to you. Great bit of interplay from Verhoeven and Shaw, and great little finish, and yeah, they've got something to hold on to, but we're expecting more from Cavalry. Farsi is a top talent. He's loads of energy. Hopefully Escalante can get involved in the game and bring him in, let the overlaps and maybe get involved 2v1s against young Ferdinand, exploit the youth and inexperience. Yeah, I think Tommy Wilton Jr. will be expecting a lot more for the last, say, 15 minutes with injury time added on.
Well, no Sergio Camargo. He's close to being able to return to the fold for Cavalry, but he's not an option off the bench. That's got to be a yellow, don't you think?
Yeah.
At some point, it just becomes persistent, and yeah. Again, it's that same matchup.
Well, I'm hoping it's not a yellow because he'll be off.
Yeah. Yeah, yellow in circumstances where he's not on one.
Yeah. Drew Becky, he's very, very lucky there. Yeah, he's very, very lucky there. That is late. I think with bookings that have been given, I think that's one of the more physical tackles out of the lot, and he's an extremely lucky boy not to be receiving a second one. But hey, fair play to the ref. I don't like seeing people sent off unless it's something that's really, really deserving.
Well, here's David Norman Jr. He's tried a couple of these. He's trying to beat Powley. It scares you when you see it go into the side netting like that. He's just off target, Norman Jr. A couple of times he tried that in the first half. Tries again here with just 10 minutes remaining. Powley, I think, had that sealed, but it's a chance for Cavalry nonetheless.
Yeah, it's a long way out, and on turf it's a tough one to generate the pace with your standing foot not moving. So it's a risky one for him to take there. I think the centre backs and Novak getting up will be disappointed. Okay.
It's Jose Hernandez into the match for Richard Luca.
Yeah, I needed fresh legs. Luca, as skillful and as dangerous as he was in the first half, a little bit in the second half, he's not been on or in the play as much.
Well, it's just the second appearance as well in the season for Jose Hernandez. Only played 5 minutes coming on as a substitute. So a chance for him to get some time as well. He'll be able to triple that total by the end of this 10-minute shift. Kapoor heads it back to Powley. And Novak, he's been so close a lot of times, and when Cavalry has really gone off, Novak's been distributing. 2 assists on the year. Still waiting for his goal, though, in a Cavalry uniform.
Yeah, he's doing a lot of needless running right now. And, well, not needless, but without help.
Yes, it shouldn't have to be needless, but it is right now.
He's doing running there, and he's hoping Hernandez and Simmons, and he's just hoping that the line's going to push up, and Escalante, and they're not. They're sitting back, and they're chasing a 1-0, and they're sitting back and allowing Ottawa to control the play across the back. Kind of a reverse of the first half hour of the game where Cavalry were dominating possession across the back line.
Well, we definitely know what the Cavalry high press can do when it's at its highest efficacy rate. They're going to have to put it on down the stretch here. It's Tevin Shaw, the latest to concede a foul, and once again DKR is down. This time I think this one's going to hurt more than some of the others.
Yeah, it was another loud shout. Obviously no replay, don't see what the foul was, but ref gave it. Fair play, but yeah, need to see more. Need to see more from Calgary. They're a lot sloppier in possession. Even David Norman's not getting on the ball enough. He's not dictating the way they're playing.
Well, down goes Malcolm Shaw right in front of the touchline. A slide he wasn't expecting from the IG Field turf monster.
I'll be honest here. I'd actually like to see Nick Ledgerwood come on. Just a bit of experience and a bit of aggression and just a bit of energy, because he's that type of player. And give him the last 10 minutes and get him to...
Escalante in. Hernandez full send to get ahead to it. Can't get it on target though.
Finally get Escalante on the ball out wide. He gets the ball in the box. I think Novak will be wishing it was on to him. But no, good ball in the box nonetheless.
Well, the goal scorer, Malcolm Shaw, he'll be relieved by Antoine Coupland in minute number 83 of the match, and it is very much into shutdown and try and hang on mode for Mista. We've talked about how in a lot of the matches post-game and in the lead up to the games, he's talking about how important the result is for this side. They won their first match against FC Edmonton, Vidi Martinez scoring a late one, and they haven't been able to get back into the win column since. They're in the position to do so right now, but they're going to have to not make mistakes against Cavalry, who, as we know, whether it's Escalante or Salamani applying pressure, they can create the turnovers and create the opportunities. Coupland on an island right now. He's being defended by Yao and Farsi. Finds some help in Verhoeven, and now Ferdinand.
Showing off a bit of skill, the young lad coming on.
Coupland takes a touch to his left. Hit by Martinez. Calgary's going to take this quickly, and Tevin Shaw's still down, and the Cavs are working their way up the pitch. Hernandez, a great battle, still on the ball. Into space and behind. Becky able to come through and at least let the defense set their shape back up.
Yeah, I thought if the man's down on the field, whether he's injured or not, I thought the ref's supposed to wait for him to get up to play, but yeah, fair enough.
Calgary's in possession. The ref says there's no foul, so they're going to continue until Ottawa gets it or Cavalry puts it into touch, right?
Yeah, fair enough.
Advantage will be played here. McKendry drawing the foul. Coupland flag stays down. It's Antoine Coupland with Vidi Martinez. Antoine Coupland tries to go through the legs of Carducci, and Martinez stares him down. That's almost a carbon copy of their go-ahead goal.
If I'm Vidi Martinez there, I am absolutely hanging him up there. I swear that if he scores, he gets all the applause in the world, but if he doesn't, I am going absolutely ballistic. Lay it across goal, tap in, 2-0, game over.
Does that mistake from the young man end up to be a costly one? Cavalry once again knocking at the door. Farsi keeps Atletico Ottawa deep in their territory, preventing a goal kick. The throw-in will come from just before the corner flag, and this is where I wish, Ian Hube, we had the broadcast booth cam. I think you're still shaking your head at that.
Seriously, I'm livid for Martinez here. And he's tried to chip him, which makes it even worse. If he shoots and he has some conviction behind it, you maybe let him off. He's tried to chip him. In the 84th minute, to go 2-0 up where he can pass it across the face of goal for a tap-in, he's tried to chip him. I'm sorry, but as a striker, I am losing it with him there. And I'm probably still having a go at him.
Well, if Ottawa can hang on for the full 3 points, that conversation is a little bit more lighthearted, but I'm sure there will be one had. Would have been the first in his young career, Antoine Coupland.
They seem to have swapped Escalante and Farsi.
Yeah, Farsi playing further forward right now. Escalante is on delivery duty, as it seems. As is Klomp trying to find Novak. Kapoor gets a foot, nearly puts it back into his own net. Sure, you make sure Novak doesn't get a touch, Yumi, but that could have been costly.
Yeah, needed to be done. Unfortunately, risk need taken, and Novak's on the end of that if he doesn't touch that. So it's a great bit of defending from the lad.
Well, the danger's still there. It's Farsi, high lofted corner. Yao going up. Ottawa first to get a piece. A little bit of time wasting on display. Good thing there's a couple of balls close by. Hey, they're doing everything they can to hang on to these 3 points. Klomp going up, Klomp getting ahead, but unable to find target.
Yeah, it's a tough one to score that. It's nearly an 18-yard header.
Yes, it is.
You don't see many of them scored in the world of football.
Well,
so
that's not an accident, is it?
Yeah. Yeah, I just don't know what else Cavalry can try and do here. To make another change, is it worthwhile making another change last 3 minutes? They're going to start going direct. Would it be worthwhile maybe throwing a Trafford on the front? Get ahead on things. Just need a bit more from them. It's 3 minutes plus injury time, and a lot of questions still need to be asked of this Ottawa defense because they've stood up very strong so far.
Well, it's a great point that if Kapoor doesn't get a touch, as risky as it is, Novak, that's a absolute tap-in for him. So they're doing just enough right now, Atletico Ottawa. Novak played through. It's a good ball from Hernandez. Bumped off the ball and cleared out to the left. Throw into the Cavs in the 89th minute now.
Another good clearance from Kapoor. Tracked Novak all the way.
Chipped on, looking for Novak, not going to get there. Escalante too far out to the left as well. Sent down. Carducci well out of his box to try and keep this play pushed forward. Only the 2 center backs and the goalkeeper still in the Cavalry side of things.
This is going to be 4 minutes or so of Park the Bus. I think it's the clinging on to anything. This will be the longest throw-in ever. Make sure that's the only ball in the stadium that you want to play with.
And you get the ball, yes, the assistant referee feels like it's a little underinflated. Might have to get a different one.
They'll be doing anything in their power to see this game out. And it's not about performance. It's not been a bad performance by them by any stretch of the imagination, but it's all about results now, and this is a result that Ottawa desperately needs.
Well, for the time being, they can go from 8th to 5th with the full 3 points here today. It would pass them by York, Halifax, and Edmonton. And I think we've heard it enough. We understand that your season isn't made or broken by how you do, how many points you leave with in this bubble, but you definitely want to pick up the wins where you can, even when they're not the most glamorous of results. Look at this build. Farsi, Simmons to the middle. Let's go. Hernandez, time to the right. Can't get it off. Slips, still on the ball. DKR not really showing. He has to go out for Kaiser. 90th minute, nearly into added time. Hernandez again. Needs some help. Goes for Yao. Norman's there. David Norman Jr. has Escalante to his left. Dinks it. Met by an Ottawa head, and then a Cavalry foul as a high boot comes up.
Overplayed far too much there. Ball goes to Hernandez. He's got to get a shot off or get it across the face of goal. And overplays. Did he kick him?
No doubt he kicked him.
Yeah. Disappointed that. I think he's he's got to. There's got to be an end product. There's got to be a shot across or put back in first time here. As soon as you start overplaying, your strikers and players in the box have made 3, 4, 5 runs.
Everyone's flat.
And
everyone's
they don't want, and all of a sudden the center backs have just thrown a blanket over them. I think overplayed far too much there. And rightfully, great defending from Ottawa.
And now a chance back in the opposite box. Yao, he's definitely fouled by Nunez that time. We are through 1 of the 6 minutes of stoppage time. Nunez in a spell of trouble if that Hamstring is giving him some trouble.
Yeah, I think that spells he'll be sitting down in a minute and they'll be making a sub and wasting time. And hey, fair play, manage the game. Game management.
Well, game management becomes easier when Cavalry does things like that.
Yeah, apart from taking it out on your feet, that turf doesn't affect your hamstrings when you 30-degree heat. I think it.
Good challenge from Norman Jr. Usually Rudolph's happy with it. They will continue. Coupland comes through Norman Jr. Advantage being played, and one of these has to be called.
I think if I was Nunez, I'd have stayed down there. When that foul's called, stay down. Got to allow your treatment. Manage the game a bit.
Finds Kaiser. Heavy touch first time. It's a veteran move from Drew Becky. He's definitely pushing the luck of what he can get away with.
Yep, very fortunate to be on the field right now, but yeah, he's just shepherded it out. He's got long legs, so he's still within the letter of the law. He can still play the ball. I know you're supposed to be in with the ball, but I think Kaiser realized he was asking a bit much there.
Yes, he was. And look, I think reality is Cavalry's had their opportunities in this match. Now they just have to find one and take one. They cannot get back in the position that they just were without getting a shot on target.
Need to get balls in the box now.
No shots on target in the second 45. Norman switches. Is it going to get to Kaiser? Yes, it will. A little bit of a chip. Hernandez running on for Novak!
Offside.
Offside! Cavalry can't catch their break.
I'd love to see that.
Michael Hood might be villain number one in Alberta. We'll get a look at it. Oh, no, that's the right call.
Well played.
Oh, Novak nearly has his goal. In the end, it's great officiating.
About a foot and a half offside
Yep.
there. Novak in the right place, as we know he does. Good bit of interplay. Great touch from Kaiser over the top, but that's what you need. Get the ball in the box, and I think that's the first time they've actually crossed the ball in the second half.
Well, Anthony's booked as well for a little bit of showmanship after disagreeing with the decision. You can ask the questions of the officials when they get it wrong. You have to acknowledge when they have the call made correctly, and it was a great spot for Michael Hood. But leave it to the Cavs to keep this. 6 minutes of added time might seem a little bit much for Atletico Ottawa supporters, but they're going to keep pressing.
Yeah, there'll be one more good chance in the game, I think.
Gotta be. And I think that's another good one from Uzi Rudolph, who's not happy with Antoine Coupland, who's fallen. He didn't get the foul he wanted. He tries to play the ball on the ground, keeps it away from Cavalry, trying to break down, and indirect free kick is given. Here is Farsi, cutting back to the middle, finds Escalante. It's got to go first time. It does, sliding in. And it's an important one. Drew Becky once again getting in the way.
Yeah, great defending. Again, we've spoke about it all night, is between Becky and Kapoor. Since Becky's moved back into centre back, they've been absolute rocks there.
Well, how many questions can Cavalry ask before they get their answer? Escalante on the corner, it's already played in. He's going 1v1 right now with Ferdinand, who gets a good step on the Honduran and sends it away. We are in the final minute of added time. Carducci is on the attacking side of the pitch now. He's on the delivery.
Great
it's
defending.
Klopp who gets a piece of it, but yes, great defending once again. You know you're spot on.
Young Ferdinand. Questions asked from a very experienced, very skillful left winger in Escalante, and he just shut him down. Big dangly leg. He's got his toe on the ball, and well played. And hey, they're fighting for their lives, and it's great to see because they know what it means.
Well, we are in the final minute of added time. Time for just one more rush. It's a wise play from Farsi to get ahead. Everyone's got to go forward. Klomp heads forward, stopped and booted away. It's Carducci going to take this throw in now.
Again, they keep bypassing the center midfield. There's not heard much of Di Chiara and David Norman over the last, say, probably 15 minutes, apart from set pieces from Norman.
Well, this could be it from Cavalry. Farsi can't get a touch. It's an important touch from Verhoeven. Simmons getting spun around. Vidi Martinez, now he can put the game to bed. Does he make the pass for Coupland? Watch me, rookie. And it's tapped in. That's how it's done. He wanted his goal, Coupland. Martinez gives it up. He taps in, and the sophomore Coupland puts this one to bed in the 7th minute of added time. And Ian Hume, Atletico Ottawa, are going to get their 3 points.
And it's sad to say over the whole way the performance of Cavalry through the game, but it's deserved over the second half and the heart they've shown. And Big Vidi Martinez has just shown Coupland how to pass to your teammate, which is the exact opposite before. But it's listen, very composed, took his touch, finished it off empty net, obviously, but it's great to see what it meant to him.
And it's great to see the teammates coming over to be the first ones that congratulate him on his first professional goal. It's the 2-0 goal. We are through all the time that will be added on. Antoine Coupland has a goal. Shaw, who got the first one, congratulates him on the bench. Martinez with the unselfish assist. And it will be the victory. It will be the 3 points for Atletico Ottawa. Out of the basement, onto a big W for them. 6 points and into 5th. Coupland, he's not going to let go of that ball. That'll be one for the mantle.